Hi everyone, Namaskar. This is Manjula Subhash. You're watching Creative Bharat. Today with me I have Professor Harshit Desai from MIT ADT University from the Institute of Design. He is the director, MIT ID Innovation Program, and also leads the industry relations. So welcome Harshit sir to our podcast today. My first question is, very few people choose becoming educators today. What motivated you? Where did this journey get started?
Right. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me over on this very interesting podcast. And I think a good question to start because getting into education field, I think the seed of it was when I was studying. And when I was a student, I had some fantastic professors and faculty. And especially when I was doing my business education, we had a very prolific faculty who I still admire, and I owe my entire journey to academics to him, because when we were learning and the kind of influence and the kind of ethos that he brought to the entire education journey that we had made me wonder that what if I can become something like this? And I think that was always in the back of my mind. However, after my business education, I went into the industry. I was working and I was kind of doing multiple things. But somewhere the kind of spark came back, and I chose to come back to academics in a way. So yeah, that's where my journey into academics started with MIT Institute of Design. And back then, this is 2008, 2009 that I'm talking about. And MIT Institute of Design had started this program in design and management. And I, coming from a management background, I was given the responsibility to kind of coordinate and lead the program, where my role was also to teach all the business related inputs and at the same time coordinate with the larger industry network that we were building there. Nice. So that is where I started into academics, and it was an interesting blend where my previous experience in industry and what I could bring to the table for the students was put to some good use.
Nice. Very, very nice. So Harshit sir, you have seen as a student, and then you've seen the education system that time, and then you took a small, gap into the industry, working in corporates, and then you came back to education. What is the difference that you saw from your time when you were a student to when you became an educator?
Right. So I think back then, when we were students, the exposure to the industry was kind of limited. Means it was only the few internships and few projects that used to happen as a part of the curriculum. Yeah. I definitely see a better participation of the industry now. And especially at MIT Institute of Design and at the ADT University, we are actively trying as to how we can involve the industry at all the stages. Means today, if I have to say come up with a new program or design a new offering, the industry participation will start from day one. It is with their involvement only we will be able to really decide that what is required in the market, what are the skills that are in demand, and that is how industry gets involved at an early stage of anything that we do in the academics. Right. There are formal mechanisms like board of advisor, board of studies, and different forums where we involve the industry right at a program design level. Beyond that, while the program is offered and when the actual academics are run, we insist that the industry participates in that. So they are party to what the students are learning. And again, thanks to some of our very strong industry partners, they do take out time and spend with students. They teach courses, they come for master classes, they come for reviews of the projects. In many cases, we have also have those arrangements where these companies, they provide us the right kind of problem statements and briefs where the students can work. So now, if you look at this model, we are not waiting for the students to complete a program and then go into industry. They get that exposure right here when they are studying on the campus. And I think that's a major change that we see from what was a few years back and now how we deal with the industry. And of course, the formal collaborations that are in terms of an internship or the placements and all of that, then that is a natural outcome of this year-long engagement that we have with the corporates.
Yeah. My next question is very close to what our government of India wants to achieve. We need to have more job creators coming out of colleges than job seekers.
Right.
Mostly institutions, universities all over India are marketing themselves with placement numbers.
Right.
Right? How do you think institutions should now change that outlook and, build youth to become job creators rather than job seekers?
Right. A very pertinent question, and in today's time, it's very important that we all have a kind of a proper understanding of all this phenomena. Job seekers versus job creators, I don't see that to be a kind of a dichotomy in that sense, because the industry and the nation needs all kinds of skill sets. Okay, so while the role of a university is to impart education and do whatever it takes to create those professionals, we need to look at the bigger picture, where a growing country like us, a growing industry like us, will need both kinds of people. And however, traditionally, universities and colleges were more geared towards the placements and the kind of job seekers. While that can continue, and that has to continue, because we also need to create that skilled manpower who will take different roles. But there is an increasing emphasis, and fortunately, there are again some good mechanisms where it is possible now to create the job creators. And in a university ecosystem, there is a lot of enablement which is happening. There is a lot of policy drivers. There are a lot of decisions which are kind of conducive to make sure that students get the enough exposure, get the opportunity, and also the required support. Mm-hmm. So, for example, we have these bodies like IIC, which is Institution Innovation Council, which is part of the Ministry of Education. So that ensures that students at whatever level, right from that first year, they are exposed to different startups, there are different innovations, there are different hackathons, webinars, seminars, all these kind of awareness building measures happen on the campus. Okay. So at least the students are aware that there is this direction, this is a possible career path if they want to pursue entrepreneurship or do something of their own. Then in a lot of universities, and we are kind of leading that effort, we have created a layer of pre-incubation. Correct. Where a lot of ideas and the projects that the students work at an academics level can be nurtured and supported to become venture ready. They may not become a startup right while they are at that stage, but it requires that hand holding where we can take them to a level where they can be pitched for a startup venture kind of a setup. And then of course there are these incubation centers, and we have our own incubation center where we are supporting a lot of these student-led startups, where once you have matured to a certain level, you can actually pursue your journey of entrepreneurship. Yeah. So that's something which is a completely new phenomena if you look at it. In a university ecosystem where traditionally students came with an aspiration of taking a degree and getting a job and earning a package, while that may still continue, but now there is a very clear alternative pathway. There is, so those who have that potential, those who have that aspiration, there is no stopping for them.
Correct. Yeah. Having worked with you for almost a year now, yeah, I have seen one thing. You have always tried to go beyond your school. True. So I saw that how you actually introduced entrepreneurship, which was actually more driven from your school, yeah, into the engineering students. You somewhere are bridging the gap between the schools as well. So when students choose to become engineers, they're not just learning engineering, but they're also learning about design. Students who are coming for design are not just learning design, but right, they're also learning what engineering students are learning. Right. So what was the thought process of doing this, and how do you execute, sure, in such a huge campus of MIT, ADT, how do you bring the schools together?
Right, right. I think you would also appreciate, coming from industry, we know that nothing can be achieved by an individual. You need a team, whether it's a product, whether it's a project, whether it's any new initiative or innovation or a startup for that matter. It's always a team effort. And that was the seed of it, where you look at different schools and different institutions as a part of the university. as long as you are studying academically, that is one part. We can pursue a project and you can kind of take it in a direction. But if you have to really build something and especially do something new, it can't happen without a team. And the team has to be a diverse team. It has to have a kind of a cross-functional aspect to it where design, engineering, business, domain, finance, all that is required at different stages of that journey. So I think that was the core rationale and thought behind doing this collaborations between the schools. Academically, it takes the form of we offering those electives or offering those minors across the university. So for example, the course that we are referring to, so there is a course in innovation and entrepreneurship, which is offered across the university, and students, and most of the time the delivery of this course is where students have to work in teams, and we ensure that the team will have one student from design, one from engineering, one from business, and that is what gives them a real world experience of how things will happen in the out there. Correct, so that's the kind of approach that we have taken there.
Yeah, I have seen, even when I was mentoring for some time, I have seen food technology students along with design students, along with engineering students actually building a market-ready food product,
Yes.
Which was a collaboration of food technology, engineering, as well as design coming together. So it's amazing that, you are able to connect all the schools together. It's like a 360-degree learning for anyone who comes into that campus. It's not just restricted to only your discipline that you have chosen.
True.
But you have an opportunity, broader opportunity within that campus.
So we are fortunate because that's what MIT ADT University stands for. So MIT ADT is art, design and technology. Yeah. So design, technology and art, all this comes together, and there are different schools, as I said, and these layers that we have built, this mechanism that we have built, they are kind of over and above the academic layer. So that gives us enough flexibility to kind of bring in students. And recently, as I mentioned, we concluded the Smart India Hackathon.
Correct.
And it was this cross collaboration which ensured that we were among the top universities with the highest number of winning teams across India. So I think that is now showing up in the actual results and the KPIs that are being monitored for innovation and entrepreneurship.
Nice. Congratulations to the whole MIT
Thank you.
force behind these hackathons. I mean, the campuses are buzzing when such events happen, and you can see the next generation of innovators, in the campus. Tell me, according to the new policies that the government is looking for, like, you have the NEPs, you have the NAC.
Yeah.
What do you think would become the future of education?
See, I think all these policies, there are kind of a lot of discussions on the policy side. But what my takeaway from all these discussions and deliberations that are happening is that definitely they are enabling, and this whole narrative of learning by doing is being quite supported there. Mm-hmm. So moving from a very traditional education where it was about reading textbooks and giving exams and passing it, now the focus is on learning by doing. More and more experiential learning is being brought in. A lot of flexibility in what kind of courses can I choose within a program. I can have a major, minor across different disciplines that are being offered. So I think the policy at its own level is quite enabling. The challenge is that how do I actually put it into practice? Because all the universities and institutions, they have been wired to work in a certain way. And when this new policy comes in, who is able to really interpret it in the right way, create the business rules for themselves, and how do I operate as a university and take advantage of these provisions which are there. So I think there is a bright future in terms of where things are moving forward. However, there has to be enough care taken of how do we execute it, because that is where the real nuts and bolts of defining how do I operate, how do I structure the programs, how do I ensure these cross collaborations between units, and bring in that whole project-based learning into action will lie. But things are definitely poised for a very, very, very positive change now.
Tell me about international students. When is that going to happen for Indian universities? Will we also see international students? And what countries do you think would be open to sending their students to India for higher education?
So I think we have having some conversations around this, and while these things which we just spoke about, of how the universities are changing and the kind of exposure that we are going to give to the students, and combined it with the larger opportunity that India offers as a country, we see a lot of potential from the Southeast Asian kind of countries, where there is definitely proximity and there is some kind of a cultural relevance also, where some of the students from these countries see India as a destination where they can learn, they can advance their practice and kind of go back with the right kind of knowledge to their own countries. And another rising phenomena would be around Africa, because Africa, there are a lot of countries which have a good India presence from a business and a culture point of view, and that can definitely be extended to education now. So these are two things which two areas where there is a good possibility of having international students.
There's something that I have noticed when our Indian students go to, say, US for higher education. They start because those universities would also have Indian professors teaching them. So they kind of get that ecosystem for them. Do you think Indian universities will also open up to actually hiring professors from different countries? Will that happen?
Definitely. I think one of the other developments happening in this space is that recently the government has opened up the doors for foreign universities to set up their campuses here. So I think that itself opens this opportunity of faculty from other countries coming, but they would have their own setups now here. And whether it is foreign faculty coming to existing Indian universities, or they coming through this new foreign universities who are going to set up their campuses here, once there is a critical mass of these universities and people here, automatically a lot of collaborations between these universities will also start.
Okay.
So that's something which may take some more time, but definitely it's on the way. And
because I feel students also join universities because they want to study from a particular professor, right?
True.
I mean, they look up to that person. Like in your story began also where you looked up to your professor and you said that, maybe education is something that I want to explore later in my life, right?
Right.
And it was a change that you actually implemented and you still remember that person.
True.
So I'm sure that, even students now, instead of looking at only university names, they're also looking at the professors, the kind of work that they have done, the kind of books they have authored, and, the impact that they have created to the students who have passed out. And they choose colleges because those are the professors they want to study under, right?
Definitely.
So
faculty, I think in all said and done, and we are talking about AI, we are talking about all content being available freely on the internet. And in spite of that there will always be the need for the right and the good faculty. And I think that is the biggest asset that a university can have. And students, even now, they do look up to either a faculty or the overall faculty quality. I think that is something which always is the top parameter for anybody to choose a university in today's time.
Coming to, books that faculties authored, and they are like really hot selling books with students because they are written by your teacher, right? I mean, somebody who taught you. Tell us about your latest book.
So this was being thought about for a long time. Means writing a book was always a dream, and there is something which I was always trying to do, but for some of the other reasons and because of the lot of other responsibilities that were with me, I was not able to really take out the time. But this year, call it the New Year resolution or call it a goal that I wanted to achieve, somehow I was able to take out time and my PhD and my research is in the space of role of design in early stage startups.
Wonderful.
So that was the context in which I was anyways doing my research, and a lot of my actual work also is at the intersection of design and entrepreneurship. So I already had my content. I already have what has been developed in last few years, and so that gave me a good motivation and a thrust that okay, let's try this. And recently, in last month, I have published my first book. It's called The Design-Led Startup, a playbook for early stage innovators. Right. So essentially, the book is based on my experience of dealing with student startups and early stage founders, where quite a few of them they struggle with integrating design into their operations. And I have been at the kind of front end where helping these startups with the right kind of design mentorship, getting them the right kind of design talent as a part of their teams. So the book essentially is like a playbook where if there is a startup founder or if there is a team who wants to start, and how do they kind of engage with design at an early stage.
Nice.
And most of the time what happens is where founders fail is that they realize the importance of design at a later stage, and that is where design may not be very effective. Design has to be involved in the right from the beginning. Design is obviously not only about the outer manifestation of like a brand or a logo or an app and all of that. Design is embedded into the process of creation. Design is embedded in the process of identifying the right opportunity, whether I'm solving the right problem, whether I'm achieving the right product market fit. So design starts from there. And obviously design is important at all the stages, but if you are able to integrate design, bring in design at that early stage, the benefits are compounded.
Yeah. Talking about design, I do want to endorse this, that the Creative Bharat logo of my channel is been designed by your design school students. They did internship with me, and now the logo is also trademarked.
Wow.
So it is what MIT ADT students have given me from the design school. Now, coming to your personal life, work-life balance is very important for us. Right. And how do you balance this?
Okay. So I think it's quite challenging, if I would say, because the nature of work that we are involved in is dealing with a lot of stakeholders. And at one side, there are students, at the other side, there are colleagues, there are industry partners, there are a lot of things which are happening. Personally, I still ensure that I take out time for two things. One is for travel and another is for music. So whenever I am in my own space, these are the two things which helps me maintain that balance. And of course, there is a wonderful family and a network of friends that we always go back to kind of achieve that balance. But that's how I see work-life balance for me personally.
So let's talk about failure. When do youth really experience failure? The real failure, is when they are probably passing out of college and picking up jobs, and then journey of failure start from there, right? Your career, you fail. You could even fail in placements that your friends got through a bigger company, but you could not get through. So there's a sense of failure.
Right.
How do you think youth should deal with these failures in their life?
Yeah. See, I think one thing which we all should appreciate now is that failure is not something negative. Okay, we have to, first of all, mentally and as an attitude, we have to be open to accept failure as a part of the journey. Usually, failure is seen as a very binary decision that, okay, either I have failed or I have passed. But if you look at it from a journey point of view, there will always be a positive or a constructive feedback that one can get out of at whatever level you have defined failure. Be it an exam, be it placements, or in the context of startups and innovation that we are talking about, that has already been embedded. Means it is something where it is broadly accepted that you can't get things right in the first attempt, and that's where a lot of iterative way of working, lot of and that's what design thinking is all about, in a way that you iterate, you come back, and then you kind of refine what you have worked on. In fact, there is this whole concept of failing fast, failing early in the journey, so that you know that whatever you are going to do is appropriate. Because if you look at it from a startup or a building point of view, it is always useful to know that if things are going to fail in the long run, you don't take that path. You can always pivot, you can always change things, so that you save on the time, resources, effort, money that is being put into something. So I think that definition of failure, or that approach towards failure, is something which has to be inculcated into the youth, where they don't see it as the end of the story. They always have to look at that, okay, what did I learn from it? What is that I can gain from it? And the probably only principle is that you are allowed to make mistakes, but you can't repeat the same mistakes. So I think that's what if the youth can inculcate as an attitude, as an approach, it will be really beneficial, because that helps them grow professionally also, and personally also they are able to discover that what are they really good at. And I think a lot of times we don't have these conversation with the students. It is something which is very dry, and at times not done with the right kind of a sensitivity. Today, the options that are around the students, I think there can't be a better time for the youth to explore these different paths. And unless they go try it out, maybe make their hands dirty and fail at it, they will not realize that what is in for them.
Correct.
So if the youth looks at the opportunities that are in front of them, they're taking that first step, trying it out, and then figuring out that, okay, probably this is not for me, and this is something which I'm not good at. Doing it early on is the right way for them to deal with failures, because some amount of failure will always be there in all these journeys.
But I really like the way you said that if you bring design thinking into your conceptual life,
right?
Then obviously when you fail in a design, you try to build even better than what you conceptualized, right? Because the failure leads you to more better heights. So that was a very nice thing, that whatever you do in life, do it with design thinking.
Yes, that has been useful, and I think there have been a lot of conversations on how design thinking and design methods can be applied to these other walks of life. And the more you learn, the more you use it, you will uncover and unravel different aspects of where all it can be used. So be it the startup, even in the business context and in the personal life also, you will see that you can benefit from this whole design attitude or designerly way of looking at and doing things.
The final question now. What are the two things that you think the education system should implement to make education more better for the next generation?
So in a way, I would again bring back the previous conversation. Education systems should focus on imparting skills which are about creating and building things. It is the time are gone where you can just rely on the theoretical and the outdated knowledge. Okay, today, as a professional, as a person who is going into the industry, as a student entering into the workforce, people will value you for your skills. And skills are about using technology, using design, using your domain, using whatever you have. But if you are able to kind of create and build things which are valuable for the industry, for the company, or for the nation, then there is a relevance, and then there you are on the right track. So university should be that machine that should be empowers and enables the students to take the journey in that direction. So that's one thing. And second is, I think the world today needs people who are not only technologically or professionally sound, but first of all, they should be good human beings. They should be good citizens. They should be people who are sensitive to whatever is happening around them.
Yeah.
And universities being a center of learning, all said and done, that is also one of the responsibilities. And if you are able to do that at whatever level, that is again a far more impactful and a better approach that universities can have. It is already being done, but it has to be done even in a better way and in a more impactful way, because then only we'll be able to create the right balance of the new generation.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful to have you on Creative Bharat, and very, very insightful, very detailed, and very close to what you have experienced in your life. So thank you so much, Harshit sir, for being part of my podcast. And we hope to see you achieve more and more milestones and have you here again with more and more talks. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a fantastic experience, and thanks to your wonderful and insightful questions that I was able to share my journey. And I hope this discussion is helpful to the audience. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.